Welcome to week 11 of the fifth quarter. I'm Katie Wilfong. 4 Garden Grove District schools have made it to the first round of playoffs, and this week they're all battling to get to round 2. Rancho and Pacifica have away games, while Santiago and Garden Grove are playing here at home. Let's go out and see the action. Coach Hay and the Argos touched Kevin Tellis' photo before they entered Jason Field to take on the Bellflower Buccaneers. It's the first playoff game of the season for these two teams in the Southern Division. With less than 6 minutes left in the first quarter, quarterback Sean Young hands off to Josh Sepulveda for the 4-yard touchdown. Richard Bain kicks in the extra point, and the Argos are off to an early start, 7-0. Later on, Young takes it back, then brings it 33 yards for a first down. A few plays later, he runs it in for a 6-yard touchdown. Bain does it again, and it's at 14-0 going into the second quarter. When the Bucs have possession, quarterback Jeremy Allen goes long for Dejon Barnes, but Argos' Avery Williams wants it, and he gets it with a one-hand grab, then brings it back about 30 yards. Yep, Coach Hay likes that one, and so does the crowd. Next play, Young connects with Josh Webb for what looks like an easy touchdown. Young passed 136 yards tonight, and Webb received a total of 82. The score is 20-0 after the blocked kick. Here's Zach Huff playing some deep. Later in the second, the Buccaneers' Benny Perez passes to Michael Jasper for their first touchdown. It's 20-6 after a missed extra point. Here's Christian Trejo after being taken down in this dog pile. He's told he'll be out 2 weeks, but we hope that's not the case. A little fog settled in on Jason Field around halftime. Third quarter now, after the Argos score a kickoff touchdown, Stephen Meredith steps up his defense and takes down the Bucs' Barnes. Here, Bellflower's Perez tries to connect with Travis Newberry, but Joaquin Reynoso swoops in for the interception. The team cheers on for Shorty as he brings it back about 30 yards. A few minutes later, Grove's Young is at it again. He passes to Webb in the end zone for a flying 17-yard touchdown. Argos up 34-6. The fans are loving this one. Fourth quarter now, the Bucs' Jeremy Allen brings it in himself for an 11-yard touchdown. That tightens up the gap 34-13. Young goes on to score another touchdown. Check this out. He zigzags and jumps into the end zone. Then he celebrates with Sepulveda. Final score, Garden Grove 41, Bellflower 13.
We played awesome, We gave it 110%, gave it our all for our boy Kevin, and we got a victory.
Joaquin Reynoso had a motivation behind his interception run back.
I was like, I'm going to take it to the house for my boys. Kevin, rest in peace, and that's it.
It's another one for Kevin Tellis. Next up, Garden Grove will travel to Beckman High School for round 2 of the Southern Division playoffs. Now let's go out to Bolsa Grande High School for Santiago taking on Costa Mesa. The Costa Mesa Mustangs brought their own tunnel complete with smoke for their contest with the Santiago Cavaliers at Bolsa Grande Stadium. First quarter, Chris Ortega hands to Brian Perez. He breaks a couple of tackles and makes his own smoke on his way to the end zone. Santiago leads 7-0. Still in the first, Mustangs quarterback Todd Davis passes to Brian Waldron. The play goes for about 30 yards, but the drive ends in a punt. Second quarter now, Davis loses the handle and the ball is loose. Joseph Carrera recovers and it's the Cavs' ball. Late in the second quarter, Julian Martinez is running down the left sidelines. He's out of bounds, but there's a late hit by Costa Mesa. That gives the Cavs a 15-yard bonus. Coach Aaron Sherastani making sure he has 11 out there on the field. With time running down in the first half, Santiago has to settle for a field goal. Oscar Langieren gets his foot into it, and it's good. 10-0, Santiago going into the break. The Cavs cheerleaders save some energy in between routines. No score in the third, but in the fourth, Santiago is at it again. Ortega hands off to Perez. He goes virtually untouched, 40 yards for the score. Cavs lead 17-0. Mustangs threatening deep in the Cavaliers' territory. Davis goes over the middle for Waldron, but Langieren grabs the ball and ends that threat. The crowd is into it. Costa Mesa is not done yet. The Davis to Waldron combination is good for about 25 here. With the help of some major penalty yardage, the Mustangs get to the 7. Then Josh Irmo gets the rest. The lead is 17-6 when the Cavs intercept the 2-point try. Martinez gets the call. He goes 34 yards to the tally. Martinez had 138 yards rushing on the night. Santiago wins the contest 24-6. This is the second year in a row the Cavaliers ended the Mustangs' playoff run. Santiago will get another home game when they meet La Mirada in the second round. The Pacifica Mariners finished number 2 in the Empire League, and the Fullerton Indians did the same in the Freeway League. From the opening kickoff, the Mariners had them in trouble. Fullerton has to punt from deep in their own territory. Pacifica got some great performances from its starts, including Joel Willis, who had to clear a big hurdle for the gain on this play. After failing to score in the red zone, Pacifica's defense forced another punt. The Mariners make it pay when quarterback Mario Nava airs it out to Clay Leonard for the score, and Pacifica leads 7-0. Leonard would have to come out of the game in the second quarter with an injured ankle. Another missed opportunity for the Mariners inside the Fullerton 20, and the half ends with a 7-0 Pacifica lead. Third quarter, the Indian offense starts to gain ground with some keepers by quarterback Dominic Ficacello. Tribe running back Joseph Hill brings the ball across the goal line for the touchdown, and Fullerton finally gets on the board. The two-point conversion attempt turns out to be a bad idea. Tino Fatea gets the runner, and the Mariners keep the lead 7-6. Pacifica fans are liking it. They would like this even more. Fourth quarter, Nava connects with Wesley Harris in the end zone. The 10-yard touchdown pass makes it 14-6 Pacifica with the extra point. After exchanging possessions, the Mariners offense begins making yardage, helped by a pass interference call. Nava then goes 14 yards to Harris for another touchdown. Pacifica leads 20-6 after a failed kick. Both teams scored again in the game's closing minutes, but it's the Mariners who have bought themselves another week in pads. Final score, Mariners 27, Indians 20. Pacifica takes on Trabuco Hills at home next week in round 2 of CIF postseason play. Next, we go to Excelsior Memorial Field in Norwalk, where the Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros are taking on the Norwalk Lancers. Reporter Gaston Castellanos has the highlights.
By the time we arrived at Excelsior Field, the Norwalk Lancers had racked up a huge lead. It was 63-8 going into the fourth quarter. You wouldn't know it by watching Rancho on the field. Sophomore Brett Hurley continued to make yardage after handoffs by quarterback Mike Frank. Coach Mike Enright knew his team faced long odds against the Suburban League power. Norwalk's only loss has been to top-seeded La Mirada. The Vaqueros continued to show character. Frank was sacked 7 times during the game. Down by 55 points, he decides to scramble. Frank has run the offense for Rancho for the last 3 seasons. Last year was the low point. The Ranch went 2-8 and hadn't been to the playoffs since the 06-07 season. The Vaqueros turned that around this season, finishing 6-5 with a playoff appearance. Frank is seen as one of the best quarterbacks in Orange County and a cool, tough leader on the field. With victories over league rivals La Quinta and Bolsa Grande and wins over Saddleback, Sunny Hills, and Cerritos in preseason play, the Vaqueros can hold their heads high tonight. It's a winning season for Rancho. The hard-hitting Vaqueros and Coach Enright will be back next year. This is Gaston Castellanos reporting.
Rancho! That will do it for us this edition. I'm Katie Wilfong for the 5th quarter. We will see you next week.